The tension in the country grew. Surrounded by enemies, hated, and we even hate each other. Matityahu stabs him with his sword. There are no miracles in this world. That the Romans destroyed the Jewish temple? No, with the help of the upper force. And the miracle came. My name is Eli Mairovich. I served about 10 years in the Israeli Special Forces. I remember one night we encountered a very difficult situation, a steep slope, a wild bush, together with a heavy load we carried. We were in a hostile territory and we weren't moving fast enough. So at any moment, we could have found ourselves in a death trap. We needed a miracle to make it on time. And we asked for a miracle. Not with words, but with our efforts, out of our connection. And the miracle came. It happened. The happiest time for the Jewish people was in the 3rd century BCE. Here in Jerusalem, in this spot, just behind the Western Wall, stood the temple. People used to come here for holidays 3 times a year. I often long to go back to that time and feel the warmth of the unity that dwelled in the air. Back then, more than 2,000 years ago, they were called Jews not based on their passport, but because they lived according to the rule, love your friend as yourself. That is how they lived. And the rumor about it spread throughout the world. How did it turn out that in less than 80 years, the Jews became their own worst enemies? With the fact that they're called Jews and that unity is the Jewish root, how did the Jews turn against each other like sworn enemies? It was the ego. It tore them into 2 hostile camps. It wasn't the Jews and the Greeks. At that time, Judea was under Greek rule. It also wasn't a war against Antiochus IV. The real war was between the Jews themselves. The Jewish spirit of unity was gone. The Jews wanted to become like Greeks. They began to dress like them, live like them, build theaters and philosophy schools. The primary law, love your neighbor as yourself, became secondary. They started buying positions of high priests, something that had never happened before. The high priest Jason then wanted to make Jerusalem a Greek city. There were statues of pagan gods in the temple court. This was unimaginable. The Hellenized Jewish aristocracy betrayed the Jewish people. In 167 BCE, the temple, the foundation of our life, was plundered and desecrated. A statue of Zeus was erected, and the Jews had to pray to Zeus in their own temple. The Greeks arrived in Modi'in and demanded that Matityahu the priest will make a sacrifice to the Greek gods. No, Matityahu replied, we will not deviate from our faith, neither to the right nor to the left. But then a Hellenized Jew gets up from the crowd and wants to do it anyway. As he's about to offer the sacrifice, Matityahu stabs him with his sword and also kills the Greek officer. And so begins the revolt that everyone had been expecting for so long. The scattered squads united here around Matityahu and his 5 sons. And we asked for a miracle, not with words, but with our efforts, out of our connection. And the miracle came. It happened. The commander of the operation stepped outside his role. He left his position at the front and came back to help the exhausted squad advance. He started pushing and pulling them forward. I remember this act gave me a boost of inspiration. I forgot about my own difficulty, advanced to the man in front of me, and helped him advance. We then all started helping each other. It was contagious. We felt that we suddenly received strength we didn't have. I stopped feeling my own fatigue and was completely immersed in caring for others. And I know that's how everyone felt. understood that the same course of events took place just over 2,000 years ago. Matityahu's small army became invincible because they turned to their roots, to unity, and their prayer was answered. At the end of 164 BCE, the rebels conquered Jerusalem. This is when another Hanukkah miracle happened. The temple was desecrated. There was not enough oil to light the candles. They knew that they would only burn for one day, but nonetheless, they still lit them. And then a miracle occurred. The candles remained lit for 8 days. They had a pure intention to rise above their divisions, above self-interest, and above hatred for each other. In the language of Kabbalah, it's considered that the Jews had an intention to rise 8 degrees above Malchut, the human ego, to Binah, the Creator's quality of bestowal. And by doing so, they became as one. However, as soon as things start going well for the Jews, they forget about their unique ability to unite above their differences. They fell back into selfishness and hatred. And that's exactly what happened next. It was the Jews who brought the Romans to Jerusalem. They say it was the Romans who burned down the Jewish temple. No, the Jews burned it down. And then the Jewish people went into exile for 2,000 long years. Today it's happening again. It would seem that we should have learned from the enormous suffering that we endured. But no, once again we can't rise above ourselves, above our opinions. We're still divided, surrounded by enemies, hated, and even we hate each other. Where are you, Matityahu, to call out to us? Whoever's for unity, follow me. How do we wake up from a long slumber and understand that we have no other path but the one that leads to love, bestowal, and unification? These are our roots, without which we completely lose our inner essence. That's the Creator's call to us. Also, that is the call of the world to us. Can we afford not to hear it?